Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Gilda Wabbit Doesn't Know How to Wear a Top Hat. I'm just kidding. This is a brand new Wabbit Wuview about All Stars Season 4, Episode 2. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gilda Wabbit. I am currently dressed as a slutty version of the New Year baby because it is almost New Year's Eve. That's right, we are at the very end of December. We are going to be wrapping up 2018, but RuPaul has not let us go with a year of just 2 seasons of Drag Race. She has released a 3rd season of Drag Race, All Stars Season 4, this freaking year. 2018, fucking awful, unless you're a Drag Race fan. So let's get right into the episode. All right, kids, now you know me. Wait, actually, I assume that, and that could be incorrect. If you do know me, at all, you know that I'm a singer. And this week's episode is a singing challenge, and I am nervous because most of these girls don't sing, and even the ones who say they do sing don't always do it well. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Now, the biggest gag of this episode is that they are bringing Stacey Lane Matthews of RuPaul's Drag Race season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race back for the singing challenge. Now, Stacey Lane Matthews is well known for being a singer as well as being a meme icon. Yes, you're doing amazing, sweetie. So she is a sickening Drag Race legend. Interesting note, Stacey Lane Matthews is a singer, but we're told that the kids are going to be recording a track, and the vocalist on the track is not Stacey Lane Matthews, it's Lizzo. So they have Stacey Lane in the studio, that's the Henny Challenge. They're building girl groups around Stacey Lane Matthews. Stacey Lane is a singer, but they are choosing not to have her sing the chorus. I don't know what happened there, but I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity where they could have had Stacey Lane record the vocals because that bitch can sing. So we get to the recording session, and we have 2 teams. We have Team Monique and Team Trinity because they were the top 2 last week. Oh gosh, I wrote down my notes. Let's make sure that I have all this correct. Sometimes my brain is a little frazzled. On Monique's team, we have Monique Hart, we have Pheromone, we have Monet Exchange, and we have, who else was on her team? I don't remember who was on which team. I watched it this morning, and I only got 4 hours sleep last night, and I only got 4 hours sleep the night before, so my brain is fucking fried. But they're all on teams. The notable, let's just hit the highlights of the recording session. Number 1, I'm fully gagged that Monet Exchange says, girl, I'm an opera singer. I have to make up for the fact that my singing wasn't great last week. You know, I got a degree in opera, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes on to not sing at all. Also, I'm living for Valentina. Valentina bringing this, like, strange, kuchiko, mi kuchiko, and I know a lot of people online are complaining about how Valentina is coming off as, like, inauthentic. But listen, we're here to be entertained. We're not here to watch someone, just, like, be blasé. You know what I mean? So I think that she's amping it up, but I think this personality is crazy. It's inspiring. I think it's so much fun. I love watching Valentina. I could watch her all day long. Also, I love that we're seeing Latrice get a lot more talking head action. I feel like in the first episode, she sort of faded into the background, but she is being a shady motherfucker, girl, because she knows about music, too. If there's one person I want to see more of on Drag Race and on television, it is Latrice Royale. Team Monique had an amazing song. Team Trinity sort of struggles a little. Manila wasn't that great. Trinity wasn't that great. There was like a little bit of like, they just weren't musicians necessarily, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really living for Team Monique right now. We get to the choreo, and the girls are supposed to build a choreographed girl group performance featuring Henny as, like, the Beyonce. Stacey Lane Matthews as the Beyonce in the center while they're all dancing around her. She's the chorus. She's lip-syncing to the vocals of Lizzo. They've all written their verses, and they're supposed to give each other a little feature moment, but, like, feature Stacey Lane Matthews in the middle. So choreo rehearsals sort of give me a lot of anxiety. I come from a musical theater background and from an opera background, so there is a lot of choreo in those shows. I'm somebody who likes to say, like, I'm not a dancer, but if you teach me the choreography, I can do it. So watching these girls do choreo by themselves stresses me out because I feel like a lot of them aren't actually teachers. For instance, Farrah is struggling in this, but her team captain is Monique, and I think Monique is a great mover, and Monique was clearly a great singer, and she's a great personality, but she is not teaching the choreo in the way that I think is effective. So Farrah is just floundering. And Stacey Lane actually says something to the same effect. She's like, girl, you gotta let somebody process it. You gotta let them go. And you know what it seems like is that these girls didn't have a plan for their choreo. They were just like making it up on the spot. And that makes it really challenging. When instead you only have so much time with Stacey Lane Matthews, you should come in as best you can with like a plot and like this is where we're gonna go. These are the big chunks. We can refine the steps as we go, but like we need like an outline. Team Trinity, they seem to be struggling as well, but they have a different problem. Is that all of them have lots of ideas, and Trinity's not leading. And by not leading, I mean that she is not picking through the ideas and saying, this is the one we're keeping, this is the one we're getting rid of. Like, and honestly, Gia Gunn needs to sit the fuck down. She just needs to take a step back. You know what I mean? She can just relax. She doesn't have to be the center of attention right now. Am I wearing this hat backwards? I'm wearing this hat backwards. Don't look at my ratty hair underneath the hat. So now we're in the workroom, and the girls are chatting about what's going on, and Gia Gunn, the villain of the season, decides to stir the pot. So she sort of pokes and prods at Monique until she gets out of her that Farrah is struggling. And so she goes to Farrah, and she's like, Pheromone, let's talk about how the fact that you're the weakest link on your team. And Gia is expecting Farrah to like crumble and to get crushed and for her psyche to be broken. And Farrah says, you know what, girl? Screw you. I am here, I am getting ready, and if I am the weakest link, I need to focus right now and spend the most time that I can getting ready because I do not want to let my team down. And it sort of cracks Gia that her villainy doesn't have the wanted effect this time, and she starts poking harder and pushing more, but she's digging herself into a grave because instead of having any effect, she's pissing Farrah off, which I think is giving Farrah strength, and then all the other girls around Farrah are like, Gia, shut the fuck up. Don't come for my teammate. Don't you dare do that. Blah, 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 blah. And I was gagged because Gia has been like playing the villain angle with like this little sparkle in her eye the whole time. And I was like, ooh, yes, girl, you're going to go far with that. But right now, I think she's pissed off enough girls that if she ever ends up in the bottom two, she is gone. Like, she's going to get herself eliminated. She's opened her mouth one too many times. Watch your back, girl. They're going to get you. So we come to the main stage. So we get to the challenge, and Trinity's team and Monique's team both kind of flounder a little bit. I feel like in Trinity's team, there was some decent choreo, but like the girls weren't always together, and it was a little messy. And Monique's team, even though the song is killer, and I'm obsessed with it, they really let Stacey Lane like fade into the background. And a big part of the challenge was making her the centerpiece. Like there was so much where the girls were in front of her, especially Monique during her verse was like in front of Stacey Lane, and like Stacey Lane was sort of like stuck floundering behind her, and like you couldn't see Stacey Lane Matthews. And I was like, this is not good. But I didn't think either team did very well. So I'm still thinking that Monique's team is going to take this home because their song was so good. Like the verses that they wrote were fire. It was so fierce to listen to. That's the one that I want to buy on iTunes. When it gets released on Spotify, I'm going to say #stream whatever their song name was. I watched this morning and I can't for the fucking life remember anything that I didn't write down in this notebook. Now it's time for the Wabbit Wuview of the One Way. Ooh, we're back for another season with just as many puns? With just as much alliteration, girl. Gia Gunn. She was first out. I'm gonna say safe boot. Like I get it looked expensive, but it also looked like baby's first pageant gown. Didn't think it was very inspired. Soft boot. Latrice Royale, I loved the costume. The dark hair, the dark fur, the dark sequin, all of those textures, but one color, that really turns me on. What I didn't like was the pop of color on her eyelids. Now, I love the color red, and that's what she was serving us, but the color didn't carry anywhere else. It wasn't like she had a pop of color that was red, and her nails were red, and her eyes were red, and her shoes were red, or like she had red jewelry and red eyes. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. It just looked not cohesive. So definitely a toot for the outfit, but I did not like the makeup. Manila Luzon, top toot of the week for me, for sure. This whole thing is freaking stunning. Like, she looks expensive, she looks beautiful. Her little, like, white under eyeliner, which I have sort of right here, it was even rhinestone. Her armpits were rhinestone. Girl, and it's not just like, rhinestones don't make an outfit, you know what I mean? But it was so tastefully done, so elegant. I lived. It was a fabulous, fabulous look. Trinity, in my favorite color, I love red. She looked amazing, like truly sickening. And God, her body is to die for. Every time I look at Trinity Taylor, I'm like, how long does it take for me to be able to afford to have silicone like that? Because that girl's body looks crazy good. Valentina, absolutely a toot. And what I loved about Valentina's runway is that in contrast to Manila's, which was very drag and very rhinestone and very like big and glamorous, Valentina was very like soft and romantic, and there weren't rhinestones anywhere. The sparkle was just in her jewelry, and everything else was just like the texture of the flower, and it was so beautiful and like very, very elegant, you know? Very romantic was, I used it earlier, but like romantic really is the word for that. And I was like, this is breathtaking. Naomi is a boot for me, you all. Naomi is absolutely a boot for me. I think she's so beautiful. I know that she knows her fashion references, and so I really think that it's a reference that I don't understand, you know what I mean? And that's why I don't like it. But like, I thought the proportions were off, like the skirt wasn't long enough, the fit of the bodice was weird, I didn't like her hair with it, like it just didn't come together for me in the way that I wanted. Monique, again, I thought the proportions were weird. Like her when she hadn't torn off the top, her boobs and her hands looked too big. And then when she did tear off the top, I liked the whole outfit, but those like weird alien hands, they just didn't match. They made it for me, they took away from the glamour and they made it more like spooky, and it was like not spooky like Latrice was with like the darkness, you know what I mean? It wasn't like dark glamour. It was just like actually spooky, like weird, scary alien salad thing. I like rusty spoons, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Purple's a cute color on you though, girl. Farrah was absolutely a toot this week, and what I think is really cool is that her look really reminded me of her comedy challenge look, which is what she was eliminated on her first season, and it was sort of like if her comedy challenge look was taken up to 11, just like so beautiful. She's another girl who doesn't have to wear body and can just like sell a garment, and like, gosh, please, somebody give me money so I can get my butt and my hips done. Please. It's so beautiful. Monet, absolute, utter toot. I'm gagged that Monet did so well on the runway this week because she really struggled her season. And in New York, she wasn't somebody who was known as like a look girl. She was somebody who was like, you go to watch her perform for 3 hours. It doesn't matter what fucking dress she's in. So for her to bring this out with that like super glamorous jewelry and the coiffed hair and the fit on that velvet garment. I love a garment. I know I gave Manila the top toot of the week because she was rhinestone for the gods and it was super great. But I love a garment that doesn't rely on rhinestones or sequins. That just like lets it be fabric. You know what I mean? And this was beautiful. And again, in my favorite color. Monet and Valentina are the winners of this challenge, which means that they have to lip sync for the top two, and they lip sync to an Ariana Grande song. Now, this really bugged me. Valentina wins, and honestly, she was really sickening. I thought her lip sync was pretty good. I don't think the song they picked is like a great RuPaul's Drag Race lip sync. And I, TBH, thought the entire lip sync was pretty boring from her and Monet. And I wonder what they cut out of Monet's performance, because I know Monet is a good performer. So I was like, what is this like low energy thing that you're turning in for Drag Race, girl? You know what I mean? But Valentina wins, and she slides out her lipstick, and it says pheromone. So they had this lovely storyline in their season where at the end of it, Farrah was like, you don't love me, and Valentina and her have made up friends, but she looks at Farrah and says, I'm so sorry, and Farrah says, you don't love me, I'm just kidding, baby. And that is growth from Pheromone. God, she is beautiful. God, she is figuring out her life. And I wish her all the best. So, what do you think is going to happen next week, y'all? I feel like there's a storyline brewing with Gia Gunn because she has been a bitch the whole episode. I also think there's a storyline brewing with Monique because she was totally not able to take any criticism, and I was gagged by that. Monet killed it. Valentina's been killing it this whole season, so that's really cool to watch. I bet she's going to have a little rising star moment next episode as well. She's going to be the one to beat. So I can't wait for next week. Let me know what your opinions are in the comments below. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, give me a heads up. I want to chat with you all about it. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Gilda Wabbit on all social media platforms. And if you liked this episode and it brought you some entertainment, feel free to send me a tip on Venmo at Gilda Wabbit, GildaWabbit. I will see you all next time. Mwah!